Yeah, and even towards the objectives, again, we have to mention that there was an adjustment towards the Lord, wherein 8-minute Lord will already siege in onto the turrets, and it'll be more valuable coming into this game.
Let's load up into Land of Dawn here for game number 1. TNC Pro Team versus TLPH, undefeated so far in the season. TLPH, will TNC stop that? We'll have to find out.
All right. It's an orange start for TNC Pro Team, while it's an orange start for Carl TZ and Liquid. Let's see how heavily Team Liquid Philippines will contest the first turtle. Because if ever they have an opening to go for a purple buff invade, if they decide to give up the very first one, while TNC Pro Team might actually be the one to go for giving up the first turtle, actually, because their lineup, they might want to play it safe, especially if Sanji is already level 4 then. You already see the aggression showed up by Team Liquid Philippines. That's them showing they know just how good their lineup is for the early game, so they want to set the tempo and they want to be aggressive.
Yeah, and it's easier to set the tempo if you're on the side of TLPH. Again, in terms of the gold lane matchup, Oheb has more potential to snowball early, and at the same time, they also have the mostly banned out Matilda on their side, so they can actually decide to go for the aggressive or go for the defensive.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
All right. Okay.
First time I saw that.
Yep. Sanji getting the new focusing mark. So, by the way, the change to the focusing mark is that after dealing damage to an enemy hero, you increase the damage taken of that enemy hero from allies by 6%, and you gain a 10% movement speed boost. That has a 3-second duration and a 4-second cooldown now. So, it's really good for heroes in the mid lane. You're essentially just allowing your teammates to deal more damage, 6% more.
Yeah, and it could be a very viable tool for Sanji and JP as well to gank up the side lanes, especially if they want to go up aggressively up against Lord J, and even with the Hylos, because he's outmatched up against the Lucas.
Wow, community prediction, 3% difference TNC. They wanted to get started here.
Okay. Still, TNC holding on. Here comes the glorious pathway coming in from Lord J, and Sanford goes in with the Unleash the Beast. And Zaida secures the first turtle plus the first blood onto Sanford.
That's a win. Dash out. Carl TZ gets tossed!
Yaoi manages to catch Carl TZ once again. He knows the capabilities of his former roamer. And Yaoi just reminding him how good he is.
That's massive here. 1.3k gold lead, 2 kills and a turtle. TNC is coming out on top in this early game, forcing even the flicker from JP here. That's a pretty slick move from Yaoi.
That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. TNC Pro Team does have the capability of win early on against Team Liquid Philippines if Team Liquid aren't careful. Now their window is almost completely closed. Yes, after just losing the first turtle, after losing 2, that means that the crazy snowball that an Alpha Matilda can have together has been it's been close to shut down. So TNC Pro Team, they can now continue to set the tempo here and be more aggressive. They've shown that they actually have the damage for it already.
Pretty good damage as well coming in from our junglers so far. More on the side of Suyo, obviously. Carl TZ might actually have a lot of catching up to do with everything that happened.
Yeah. Especially since the adjustments on specifically the gold cards at the gold lane. It's going to take time for them to feel the wrath of the Filipino sniper Oheb, but you can see already Yaoi playing mind games up against his former team.
All right. So Team Liquid Philippines are trying to get pickoffs here and there, but Yaoi is not giving it, to maximizing the extra movement speed that he could get with the second skill activation. Meanwhile, in the EXP lane, seems like Sanford is being relatively handled well by Lord JM. So he's not beating Sanford in lane, he's just shutting down what Sanford can do by controlling Sanford in the EXP lane. Meanwhile, in the gold, Oheb and Bennyqt seems to be a chill matchup up top. Nothing too crazy, but I might have spoke too soon.
That's why Oheb goes in with his Salmon Enforcers. Carl TZ was there, but Bennyqt managing to out-sustain 4 members. Here's the full dive. Plus the ultimate coming in from Sanji, but Benny lives! But JP catches him still. And here comes the clapback. Yaoi once again with the throw. Daddy JP no more. And a shutdown kill onto TLPH. Oh, here comes the pull coming in from Sanji. One more hit to the lover boy. But OM says, wait a minute, I'm still here. Gets a kill for the Filipino sniper.
That was a lot of effort being thrown by TLPH on the top side of the map. Making sure, even with TNC's counter plays, with Yaoi's good movement, I feel like it was just so overwhelming. Look at that. Good hits coming in from Lancey. But you know what? The Suyo actually did do a lot of farming while all that was happening.
Yeah.
So the goal just kind of equalized.
Yeah, that was like a 30% blast off of the health of Sanji once that Star Shatter from Lancey hit, and you do see the familiarity between these two. Bennyqt and Yawi danced that tower dive gank up top by Team Liquid Philippines very well. They still ended up getting taken down, but yeah, you can clearly see just how well they know each other right now, their timings and their tendencies.
Yeah, and it was also a good opportunity for TNC because during that time wherein they re-engaged, Sanji already used up the Nether Realm. So in terms of a clapback potential for TLPH, they already used it up against TNC.
At this point, TLPH does feel like they are on recovery mode, making sure that no one just gets picked off, while Oheb is still on the farm on that Harith. Now at this point, I don't think TLPH is going to go for anything spicy, but they could maybe pick off someone who is off the radar.
I mean, so far, towards the third turtle take, we could potentially see a power spike coming in from the Matilda Alpha combination. So, again, the window getting smaller, but still not close because Carl TZ goes in with a Spear of Alpha, brings down Lord JM, even forced to use a Glorious Pathway, but TLPH will get the kill.
Okay, this is an opening up top for Team Liquid Philippines as they were able to take down Lord JM, but the minion wave's not just there for them. But it looks like they might be able to take this turtle without that much of a problem. Because if TNC Pro Team heavily contests this, it might be detrimental for them. Lord JM just spawned, but I don't think the high loss will get here in time.
A good pickup, maybe ideal for TNC, but the pokes coming in from TNC.
Jeez, Haida hurts. He's hitting like a tank so far.
Yeah, Lord James gonna get here on time. This is actually not good for Team Liquid Philippines now.
Yeah, Sanford as well in the picture, but Yawi catches him. Here comes the Nether Realm coming in from Sanji Oheb. Casts the Salmon Force. The first man down is Yawi, but they're targeting Yawi, Lord JM inside as well, forcing them back. Sanford with the Unleash the Beast, and Carl TZ with a turtle.
There you go. Big team fight win here for TLPH. TNC only losing one, but it feels like it's a big statement that we have the mid-game team fights, and you gotta be careful if you're TNC. And now they are forcing TNC to just turtle back into their turrets.
Clutch Nether Realm there by Sanji. Now has 4 assists to his name. Taking the items locked in. A Flask of the Oasis for the Matilda. Interestingly enough, a Dreadnought armor actually for Yawi. So that's actually to more shut down Sanford and of course Carl TZ somewhat. So that was TNC Pro Team, specifically Yawi, respecting the early game damage that could pop off from the Lucas and the Alpha. Now though, Team Liquid Philippines are starting to find more footing around the map. Let's see if they can translate this into more towers, because up until they destroy a tower, TNC Pro Team are still encouraged to continue going forward and applying pressure on Team Liquid's side of the river.
Speaking of applying pressure, they're trying to go for the young goat, and Bennyqt says, Carl TZ, did you miss me with one? That Sonata brings down the young goat.
And you know what, you guys are absolutely right. I think despite being a little bit pushed back here by TLPH, their lineup kind of forces them to keep fighting. That's what their lineup's made for.
Yeah. Yep. Unfortunate that the rotational timing was off for Team Liquid. However, you can credit Yawi and the rest of TNC for reading that situation. They had a feeling maybe the Team Liquid Philippines were more positioned up top, which left Carl TZ and his purple buff open to be invaded by TNC Pro Team. Now they're going to translate that into even more of a push up top as they're going to be able to break the first tower in the top lane. Great Astral Echo there by Lancey. Now Team Liquid Philippines are controlled by TNC. Tower doesn't get broken just yet, but that should be broken up next.
It's coming very, very soon now. TNC, they're just lurking around these bushes, waiting for someone to just make a misstep. But then again, we are talking about TLPH here. They did not come with that win streak out of like being careless.
Okay, Yawi with the conceal onto that brush. Maybe get spotted out, but he's gonna be able to throw out Oheb.
Oh my goodness.
What a good read from Yawi.
That flicker might have been for the worst there. Flickered out. They got Oheb.
Yeah.
Now clear disadvantage here for TLPH. Will they still contest? Again, they have the Matilda plus the Alpha. Here comes Lord JM with the Glorious Pathway. They're still going in for the Circling Eagle. It's going to be Retribution by the side. Secured the Lord. TLPH forced to back off. Look at Bennyqt delivering the damage onto Daddy JP as Carl TZ gets in the mix and brings down side as well. But Bennyqt picks up another.
Very good effort here for TLPH to make sure at least to try to contest it. But seems they are going to get punished a little bit. 1-for-1 trade, I would say that's already best case scenario for TLPH so far.
Lancey and Yawi are on fire, while Bennyqt, with all of the aggression that TNC Pro Team are playing around with Lord JM, Yawi, Lancey, and even Zyda providing space for Bennyqt, he is just tossing out Death Sonatas from the back without a problem. Now Team Liquid Philippines, they're getting outplayed here. TNC Pro Team are playing a much better game. Another big Astral Echo by Lancey.
Beautiful Astral Echo connecting onto 3. And if you need a reminder, the Lord will be jumping in onto the turrets. So now at TNC with a 2.8k gold lead, you can already feel the storm slowly brewing. Bennyqt 2-1-1 with a Granger.
2 towers down, 2,000 gold. Ahead is TNC. Don't forget, Astral Echo also kind of enlarges your hitbox.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier for the Granger snipes to really hit.
Yawi right now playing a really great game. Reading the rotations of Team Liquid very well. It's like he used to play for them or something. I don't know.
That does, you're right. That does feel like the case now.
Yeah.
Seems like it, right? They can read them so well.
Yeah. And I think he's also having some help of directing Lancey of where to toss out Astral or Star Shatters to check. See, Yawi actually, when the player cams come up, he's very vocal. So I think right now there's just TNC reading Liquid.
This might be the go signal. Here comes the glorious pathway. Might get Sanford there, but Yawi with playing the patient game. Carl TC goes in with a Spear of Alpha, but gets tossed out by Yawi. Here comes Sanji with a save with another realm. Oh, he's going to pick up a kill onto Yawi. So that's a counter trade TLPH wanted. They were able to disrupt the push of the Phoenix army.
Yeah, it's going to be a climb here for Team Liquid Philippines. This lineup was built to dominate early on and potentially around the mid-game, but now since they've lost their window, and they lost the purple buff.
Oh, big denial.
Lancey able to steal it away with the Star Shatter. He wasn't. Who got the purple buff?
I think it's Zyda.
Yeah, I think it was Zyda. Okay.
Okay, good. Astral Echo plus the glorious pathway to save their mid lane. Bennyqt, you look at the damage from the Death Sonatas already. You can feel it. And it's just making sure TLPH can't go for those aggressive plays.
This is pokes galore here for TNC. It's so difficult for TLPH to actually close that space when you're getting hit and going to half HP even before the fight starts.
Yeah, I mean, the projectiles are namely the Queller, the Death Sonata, the Star Shatter. You could count the Glorious Pathway as a ranged attack as well.
What? Is it though?
Maybe. So TLPH, they have to look for those. They really have to look for those projectiles because again, if those damages, those pokes, catch them off guard and get them out of position, it's going to be a clean Lord take for TNC.
Let's see. They're getting started. Positioning-wise, TNC does feel like they're ahead, but they're only slowly getting into position here.
Yeah, it's even hard for OHEB to team fight with all of the pokes that TNC Pro Team can toss out. They can damage the Harith without that much of a problem. KarlTzy showing himself off here. I think TLPH will go for a full engage.
Oh, TNC. Okay, there was a soft reset on this Lord. Now we can see the XP laners stacking damage coming in from the Lord. Yawi on the mid brush. Let's see if TNC can make a play. We're all waiting for Lancey to cast the ultimate, and that might be the go signal for TNC.
Or maybe Lord JM as well. There's the conceal. They're getting started. Finally cleared up that wave. Seal's already a big use.
Oh, it's going to connect onto 3. That's a go signal once again for Yawi, but here comes a clap back coming in from TLPH. Retribution battle. Zyda gets the Lord. A killing spree coming in from the storm. Bennyqt, but Sanford wants to go for more. Up against Yawi. He will take him down. Now the cavalry with the counter attack. OM goes in right after Zyda, but gets the storm. Low pressure area, no more. As TLPH collapsed back up against the Phoenix army. Zyda next on the chopping block. And OM still going for Lord JM. Salmon Force in. Astral Echo is there, but OM one more hit onto Lord JM. Gonna be able to escape, but TLPH gets 3.
What did we just witness? The sudden aggression by Team Liquid Philippines, a little bit too early for the entry of KarlTzy and JP, yet they forced a team fight. that meant that this Lord will not be utilized by TNC Pro Team. Oheb and Sanford getting aggressive. I thought the Harith actually used the flicker, but Oheb did not. It was just Sanford using it late into that fight to make sure that they can catch Bennyqt in the back. Great aggression by Liquid to go for the post-objective engage instead. Look at Sanford, no flicker just yet. He will use it, just used it actually. They were able to take down Bennyqt. Zyda will get punished. Sanford with a good read waiting. And you even see how they were blocking the Astral Echoes for Oheb's escape after that. Or excuse me, the Star Shatter.
Yeah, again, that's the second time I saw a very amazing flicker flash combo play from the Lucas of Sanford. Is using Lucas like a crowd control initiator for the Cavalry.
That was a pretty small disconnect that happened for TNC that got completely utilized by TLPH. That just goes to show you, do not give an inch to TLPH and they will take a mile.
We're seeing though that playing around the objectives is very difficult for KarlTzy in this one. Seems like TNC Pro Team are target locking him every time. And it's like they need to have a picture-perfect entry for KarlTzy through the guiding wind of JP just to make sure that they can secure an objective with his retribution, because so far they have not. They've only won one turtle, but the rest have just gone Zyda's way. He's been playing very well in the retribution battles.
Yeah, we're seeing the old expressways of TLPH now, wherein they're just going to try and bait out the major objective, which was the Lord, but they want to go for the kills. They want to go for the clapbacks instead, because again, it's hard to out the retry Asuyo in the hands of Zyda, especially if as Redmar mentioned, you can't go in at any given moment, because Yawi can just literally throw you to the back line of TNC.
Saying that, so much pressure, so many threats to KarlTzy. He's still relatively been able to keep it a little bit balanced, considering he does have that safety net of the guiding wind at the very least. But you're right, it is difficult for them to actually come out on top and get started on that Lord. So sometimes they just have to start, they have to come in the middle of a Lord fight, right? They can't just start it on their own.
Yeah. But the beautiful part of TLPH is if they go for the engage, like what they're doing to Yawi right now, as Owen goes in with a and force. But Bennyqt manages to catch KarlTzy. Now the clapback for the Phoenix Army. Sanford goes in with the Unleash the Beast as Lord James soaking up the damage. That's going to be Yawi for KarlTzy.
Oh. Big shockwave tossed out there actually by Sanford. Deals a bit of damage, but TNC able to regen it again, and that's a problem for KarlTzy. Every time he just shows up himself, it's Yawi tossing him to the back.
Okay, there's no Nether Realm right now for Sanji. It looks like they have to give this away. Will they go for a counter engage? The Astral Echo is there, but they managed to stun out Sanford. JP goes right after Zyda with a circle in. Zyda blasts JP, but OM's wanting more. Goes for Lord JM. There's the trade. The Filipino sniper wanted.
All right, good trading right now by these two teams. All the familiarity, they're playing around the kills instead.
Honestly, it feels like TNC and TLPH are just screaming, right?
Yeah.
They stole each other so much.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier, that if you look closely, they're actually way more similar than a lot of us would recognize. Although I was wrong with saying Team Liquid Philippines are just more refined, TNC Pro Team are refined themselves. They are taking it to the team currently at the top of the standings.
Okay. Astral Echo was already used up there by Lancy. Only Sanji got hit. Now TLPH has a small control over this Lord pit. We'll see how TNC will respond. 20,000 HP for this Lord. Yawi with the conceal. KarlTzy with the stop. Sanji with the Nether Realm. And the Lover Boy. It's gone. It hands up TLPH. Lord JM with the glorious pathway to disrupt the pathing of TLPH. Astral Echo again was able to be casted, but still 5 members of the cavalry are here. They're trying to work on Sanford, but JP with the guiding wind is there to save him at any given moment. How will TNC respond?
No ultimate. No Nether Realm here for Sanji. I think he's waiting for it to come back. No ultimate as well for the Matilda.
All their ults are dead, actually.
Yeah, Unleash the Beast still on the way back. Sanford zoning out as much as he can. Slow take. They still have to respect the Suyo here.
Okay, Sanford zoning out the TNC. KarlTzy just working on the Lord. They will secure it. And now it's an out signal for TLPH to disengage. Lord JM going for the chase. Astral Echo going to connect Sanji, forced to use out the flicker. And TLPH executed that to perfection.
Oh, they might lose an inhibitor turret on bottom. They took a long time in that Lord.
Yeah, they lose a turret. but they will be able to finally get the Lord. This is the evolved Lord at this point. And let's see how deep Liquid could go into TNC's side of the map. 19 minutes and 30 seconds in. It was a slow pushback of TNC Pro Team's line in that last Lord fight, but they were able to make it work. They were able to execute it very well. It was a slow push up until it got to the point where KarlTzy was just left to his own devices to take that Lord without a problem.
You can expect KarlTzy to go for a huge dive with the Spear of Alpha because they both have Winter Crowns alongside Sanji. And with the help of JP, TLPH might just go for the end angle here. Okay.
They are getting started there. That turret is long gone. Now, going for the flickers.
Sanford misses the flash combo flicker combination, but the Lord is still up. Oheb with his Amen Force. We're still waiting for the clapback coming in from TNC, but TLPH will disengage, but they get an inhibitor turret up top.
Oh, good thing that flicker flash combo missed by Sanford, or TNC Pro Team might have already lost more than just a turret at this point. Look at the items. Item locked already for both. Athena's shield for KarlTzy, so that should help with the survivability problem that he's been having of late. Meanwhile, for the mid laners, already up to a Divine Glaive. No wonder that Novaria hurts like a truck. For the two gold laners, though, very neck and neck in terms of the gold. Actually, it's a 2,000 gold lead for Harith, but both are item locked as well. Oheb has actually already sold his boots and has picked up an Oracle as the very last item on his build to maximize the shield he would be getting, along with a cooldown reduction.
So far, the late game 5-man of TLPH does feel like they're more geared up. In contrast to the poke-heavy TNC lineup, which feels like if you get dove in by 5 people, there's very little that TNC players can actually do here.
Yeah. Let's see how Team Liquid Philippines will be able to translate this into an endgame angle, though. Because with all the pokes that TNC Pro Team has, if Lancey and Bennyqt can stay in a safe distance, I reckon Lord JM and Zyda alongside Yawi will be able to buy enough time for them to break down the front line of TLPH to force Team Liquid back out from a siege. Now we're in a 50-50 for a Lord. Whoever gets the first pick off here might win this Lord.
TLPH,
they're waiting for it.
They have good re-engage again with Sanji's ultimate. Plus the shields coming in from JP.
Look at the middle minion wave. It's handled so well right now for TNC Pro Team. It's a deeper push forcing Sanji to react.
Okay, they're going to commit the unstoppable force onto Sanford while he's on there with the Unleash the Beast. But here comes the clapback coming in from TLPH. Astral Echo going to connect on to 3. And now both teams will disengage. A lot of resources have been expended. And we're going to see another Lord Dance.
Yeah, Nether Realm still available for Sanji though. Yawi with the conceal to the back.
Okay. We're going to wait for the Circling Eagle coming in from JP as Yawi once again spots out Sanford, and this time delivers the final blow. That's a man down for the cavalry, but they're still holding on to this Lord. They want to go for the major objective instead. Lord JM with the glorious pathway. Gonna zone out the members of TLPH. And the young goat secures it. But here comes the clapback coming in from TNC. We can already see a lot of red bodies falling down. A godfly coming in from OM as he brings down Yawi. But TNC wants to go for the engage once again.
Yeah, Yawi really committed so much to take down Sanford that he didn't have enough bullets in the barrel to defend for the Lord take. It's going to be KarlTzy coming out on top with that Lord.
Young Goat thinks he needed to win that retribution for the cavalry, and KarlTzy did just that. I don't think it is endable just yet for Team Liquid, but they should be able to get some towers in here.
Again, the Winter Crowns are locked for TLPH. Lord JM goes in with a glorious pathway.
Bennyqt
has to flicker away. Here comes the Death Sonatas. Look at the damage coming in from TNC. But the re-engage from TLPH is just too much. Oheb goes in with his They still have the Lord! And he brings down